Hello and welcome to the Creative's Garden. I am called Harpy, and today we will be yet again working on my current comic project, the Snapdragon Club The Actress's Tale. So progress has been a little bit slow going over the last couple of weeks, but progress is progress. We will take what we can get. But I do have a page already set up, so without further ado, I'll move on to the main camera. Here we are, and as you can see, I have already partially inked it this time around, mostly just to try and get the word bubbles out of the way. I did have a little bit of trouble with the word bubble on this last panel right here, just because I was still basically trying to edit the dialogue for this page, but I think this is what I ended up going with. And to just sort of edit where I've already inked, I attempted to try and use some of my sticker paper as basically like correction tape. Because the thing about correction tape is that the very smooth plasticky surface is not really conducive to any coloring or anything that might happen. Although now that I think about it, like there wasn't going to be any color inside the word bubble anyways. But I don't know. I thought maybe it would have been better. And also not risk as like tearing through as well, because that's another problem I've had with correction tape in the past, is that sometimes I will be trying to write and then it'll just rip through the correction tape and just reveal the inking that was underneath anyways. But we're learning, we're figuring things out. I got a little crab. And I'll just switch to my slightly more holiday themed outfit. Just cuz. In terms of comic pages, I have this one, and then I basically have this next one figured out, as well as the next page, so that's two more after this. But I believe I still need to figure out the artwork for some of the next couple of panels. Yep. Yeah, need to figure out the artwork for that, and the artwork for that. And then I need to figure out how to pace the story beyond that. And that's basically where I'm at right now. I still love the story to bits, and I still have an ending planned for it. It's just getting from, point O to point P, No. I don't want him looking cross-eyed. No. I'll just... No. No pupils on that one. We'll just go no pupils on that one. That was the outside of his iris the entire time. You can't prove it. You can't prove it. But yeah, I hope everyone watching the VOD is having a decent day today. Maybe you're listening to this in the background and just wanting something chill to listen to, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, I feel like that's what my streams are supposed to be anyways. They're just here for the chill vibes. I think it's kind of almost like a parallel play. You know, like when you hang out with friends, but you decide to just do different things but together. So it's like you could be off reading a book on one end and your friend is like playing video games on the other, but you're just enjoying each other's company. I feel like that's sort of what this stream fulfills. At least to me. Because, generally speaking, you know, it's like inviting people over for like a light house party, you know? You say, come in, welcome. Help yourself to some snacks or some video games. Just have a chill time. Let me know if you need anything. But if you're here just to chill and not really interact, you're just here to vibe, and that's perfectly fine. That's totally legit and valid. I mean, I can't count the number of times that I've been to a friend's art stream and all I did was lurk, more or less. I'd be there just to say hi, and then I'd go back to whatever it was I was doing. Because while having an active community is really cool and great, it's not necessary. Like, don't get me wrong, I love when there's chatters here. I love being able to say hi to anyone who stops by the Creator's Garden. I mean, when you're surrounded by borbs all the time, borbs, you know, they chirp and they make all kinds of cute little bird noises, but they're not exactly conversationalists. So whenever anyone does decide they want to talk with me, I'm always grateful. But again, just because that is something that is appreciated doesn't mean that it's a necessity or that you're less welcome if you don't chat. That's why even the people who watch the VOD are welcome. Because that means even if you couldn't be here at the time that I do stream, you still decided to take a look anyways. Put this in the background and just be able to hang out and vibe that way. And I appreciate that. And if you are here listening to the VOD, feel free to comment on like what you usually like do when you're listening. Are you like playing video games or working on other things? Whether it's just to have something, you know, to keep you busy, or something to keep you focused. Or maybe you're like some people who's like, nah, this is chill. I'm going to fall asleep to this. And that's also cool too. Like, we all got busy lives and just things that are going on. Any way we can get that rest. I've also fallen asleep on while my friend was streaming, but usually it's because similar to when I do my Friday streams, they stream fairly early for my time, so there have been a couple of times where I'll be like, oh, they're streaming today, I need to go see them, I need to go say hi, and then I go say hi and then fall right back asleep. It's like going to turn off an alarm clock. And in case you haven't noticed, I did a little subliminal drawing. Mac is doing a thumbs up. But what does a thumbs up look like? Could it be? Is it a like button? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It isn't. It isn't. But you know, while you're here, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna say the thing. That can wait for later. I know. It's like, if you've been on YouTube long enough, you know what the deal is. You know what creators hope for. And at the end of the day, it's all up to you. Like, if you don't, then you don't. But for people who are newer to the platform, it really is, like, easier to go back and find the people you do enjoy watching. If you do the whole spiel that every YouTube video says at the beginning or end of their video. And good morning, Ferox. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a decent morning so far. So far, I got your coffee and biscotti. Ooh. That sounds nice. I have some peach tea with me. And I'm hoping to get more tea later today. Also, I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to try and cover that up, because it's not exactly correction tape, but I'm hoping the sticker paper does its job. And you know, worst comes to worst, I can probably make some slight edits once I scan them in. Peach tea sounds delightful. It really is. It's very nice and refreshing. And if you like an extra bit of sweetness, some lychee coconut jelly added to the mix also is really nice. But yeah, I'm going at a fairly slow and steady pace for this page. I've always gone back and forth about the dialogue just because I'm always trying to find that balance of making sure the correct information, the necessary information that the reader will need, gets provided, while also keeping it, fairly fluid and, within character as well. Could probably do this actually. I could hear the melt out. The description of the coconut jelly sounds delicious. I mean, I feel like it goes with a good amount of fruit teas, in my personal opinion, so. And also, you hush. Actually, for that I might need the gray. And I'm gonna hope that it comes out right. That'll do. I think I will say that working on faces, and especially eyes, is probably my favorite part of drawing characters, just because of how expressive they are. Slitted eyes like Piero's and Max are always very fun. Let's see. Purple. There we are. Trying to think what else I need to ink up in the background besides this, which I'm going to have to look up again, a past panel of the outside of the Snapdragon Club, because I don't always remember all the details. And voila. There it is right there. So that's the basic gist of what I gotta convey in that smaller panel. Sometimes my streams are just dropping things simulator. I try to keep things in a frame, but simulating drawing. How do we do that? Draw with our minds. No, we're not simulating drawing. We're simulating dropping things on the floor. Something that I apparently do quite often during these streams. And right now I'm just trying to figure out if there's any parts of the background I need to do. I guess that could be there. And I'll just fill that in, because I don't think I will remember otherwise. think that's about right. I think I've got all the line work done, so it's time to erase. And as usual, as I erase, I usually find parts that I forgot to do the line art for. Like Piero's bangs in this panel right here. That's another thing about correction tape that I usually run into problems with, is that if I do it before I start erasing the sketch work, then that also will sometimes like tear up the correction tape as well, and then it's just BT Dubs Welcome to Derry has been an interesting watch. I think I like the 17 film and casts a little more than the series, but there are moments it shines. To my surprise, it is ongoing until the 14. Ooh. I'm glad it's at least been interesting. It would be really disappointing if it didn't add anything. Then it's like, what's the point of making like an extended universe series about the world of Stephen King's It? Where is it? Okay, so but yeah, I think I'll always have a soft spot for the Jim Carrey, not Jim Carrey, Tim Curry version. I always get those two names mixed up. It's always the Uri always gets mixed up. It's like I know who those two actors are. I know I know what they look like. I know what they sound like. The names just keep mixing up in my brain. But yes, I feel like the short TV series will always have, you know, a special place. But the movies seem pretty decent from what I've seen. Once again, I'm not usually into watching horror films, but you know, sometimes I find the lore fascinating. So I'll at least do a little bit of research on it. Jim Carrey equals Tim Curry. Shush. 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 But now there's a thought. Tim Curry as Robotnik, as Eggman in the latest Sonic movies. I feel like if he were to be Eggman, he'd be like Saturday morning cartoon version of Eggman. I love Tim Curry and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Yeah, I also loved him in The Mask. Really funny. And did you know that Jim Carrey did the voice of the Cat King in The Cat Returns? In the English dub? Or that he voiced an evil penguin in Pebble and the Penguin? uh, and for those who didn't know, I'm fully aware that, you know, what I said was the opposite. That was a joke. That's a joke, son. I flew right past you. Let's see. It's funny how in the beginning I started off with yellow because my original thought process was, oh, I'll work from lights to dark, so that way I'd be able to, like, you know, cover up any mistakes I did with a light. And then here I am, immediately going into my darkest gray because brain just goes, oh, I see this part. That part is this color. So I will pick up that color. I love Jim Carrey as Nigel Thornberry. Now I'm just imagining, like, how the mask is like smoking, but instead it's like smashing. We have fun here. Also love Jim Carrey as the concierge in Home Alone 2. Ooh, that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. But yes, we do have fun here. I know these actor swaps will trip me up later when I think about it. I'm sorry. The curse of swapping Tim Curry and Jim Carrey has passed on. And I suppose it has also passed on to all of my VOD listeners, so I apologize to you too. Now you too can also swap Tim Curry and Jim Carrey. I was about to make it even worse by switching the first and last names. Oh. I think streamer brain has got to me. It's either that or I'm just that frazzled this morning. stream of brain rot is spreading. think I'm finding that the way I color, I usually go in with a plan to, okay, stick with one color and then just fill in all the places that have that color. But then I go, wait, these are alcohol markers. If there are areas in which I want to blend the colors, then I need to work on them quickly. So when I start on, say, Piero's eyes, which I like to do a red and yellow gradient, I go, okay, I want to start with the red first so that when I go into yellow, it'll blend in into an orange then a yellow. But so that means I would put down the blue and then I would pick up the red. And then just as I was about to go and do the yellow, or maybe I would do the yellow and then be like, okay, I guess I'm on yellow now, so I'll do the yellow things then. Only to realize I didn't do the other eye yet, so I would have to go and pick up the red again. So I feel like my coloring style is just a whole mess of me going, whoops, forgot about that, whoops, forgot about that, whoops, forgot about that. Speaking of whoops, I forgot about that. There was a tiny bit of the window that I forgot to color yellow. Because it's a tiny little piece next to the dialogue that I would have missed otherwise had I not color coded it. course, I completely forget. Well, this is where the sticker's gonna come in handy. Hello, Repairman. Welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. How are you doing this Christmas season? I'm doing good so far. It's been a nice, chill morning. Having some peach tea. The Borbs are all getting cuddled and huddled up. Oh. Wait a minute. Has my PNGtuber been frozen this whole time? Oh no, it's not responding. Okay. Of course, there would be technical difficulties. One moment. There we go. Maybe I'm just lucky, and I caught it just as it stopped being responsive. There we go. I put my holiday outfit back on. But how about you guys? How are you doing, Mr. Pearman? as you can see, we are, I think, probably at the halfway point of coloring this page. The warm gray because it's the smallest amount of color, because it is only Mac's shirt. Doing fine, just busy. Yeah. Unfortunately, not everyone can be chill during the holiday season, so it is also very busy for everyone. Like, you're putting decorations up, you're getting festivities ready. That's where I had my sky blue. Good. Dark blue, and I need purple. But just a little bit. Just a little bit. focus a little bit more because these corners can be tricky. This marker might be needing a refill soon, which is perfectly fine. I have actually a lot of ink in this color. And luckily this comic has given me plenty of reasons to use this color. I've stopped playing Critter Cove for the time being because I feel like I'm basically done with all the content that they have so far. And I went back to Cozy Caravan, which is another like create your own cutesy type avatar and do cute things type of game. But I feel like it really does feel more like, I guess, a little more grounded slightly, even though there are some mystical elements involved. But it's all cutesy animals and doing mundane tasks. But I do love the art style of it. It is very adorable. Okay. I think at this point I'll take a small coloring break to refill this marker because this absolutely needs to be refilled. This one. Honestly, I think the "I'm done" reason for jumping ship is more valid than people think. I did that a lot as a kid. Oh, you mean in terms of deciding when you're done playing a video game? I mean, I feel like, yeah, for a lot of games, that's how I approach them as well. Like, if you were to talk about, say, like Spyro or the Crash Bandicoot games, where a lot of it is just collecting objects while playing mini games, then at some point, unless you're already like a very completionist type of person, then that's just gonna be it. Or sometimes, you're story driven. But even then, the story can only be a carrot on a stick for so long before you decide, no, these little tasks in between are just not worth it to me. Show's over, go home. Yeah. If a novel series is over, I was satisfied when I finished, and yeah. You're right. You're right. Because, like, I feel like even with beloved media projects, you even if they, like, end on a way that you didn't like, at least it ended. If they were done telling the story, then they're done telling the story. And if you thought, as the person reading or watching it or listening to it, that you thought there could have been more explored, then that's what fanfiction's for. Would it be cool to make it look like it was the official? Sure, but it's not necessary. I cannot wait to be rid of this bottle because it is so difficult to squeeze. best you can do when 100%ing a game is just doing it again or challenge running. Yeah. I bet. Is that about the bottle? Yeah, like this bottle in particular is like it's very hard plastic, so squeezing on it is not fun, as opposed to say like I like these bottles because the plastic's a little bit thinner, which means it feels like better to squeeze and stuff. That's at least my opinion. I haven't bought many brands of alcohol markers and ink, but I feel like I at least know enough to be just a teensy bit of a connoisseur. Just a teensy bit. I'm gonna take a moment to take a quick break, but I will return shortly. Afterwards, I'll finish up topping off this marker and then get back into coloring. So I'll be right back, but until then, the fishing game is all yours. Alright, and I have returned. Also, I suppose now would be a good time to say that if you enjoy my artwork and you are interested in the stories that I'm making, then all the usual YouTube stuff applies. Liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. I've heard there's also something called hyping though. I'm not sure what that's about. But if any of you guys know, feel free to let me know. But if you are feeling particularly generous, I have a Ko-fi link down there, which you can either buy me a boba, you can become a visitor of Sanctus, in which you get a borb attributed to your name that usually appears on the welcome screen. Or, if you feel like it, we also have stickers available. They're really cute and high quality, and they're also like pretty big. Just saying. For those who don't know, Ferox is the voice of Shade the Nightmare Fae in the Hunter's Tale comic dub, so if you enjoy his work, you know, here's a little sticker if you want to show you love him. And then, of course, here's another fan favorite, Dolly. Some of you might know that Dolly has quite a development history, meta-wise, but she's very adorable. And now she has a sticker. Dreamwalker is one of those characters that I still need to get to. He's only found in the pilot and the grand opening comic so far, but I'm hoping to bring him back. And then here's one of Mac. You can actually see that I was like coloring him in earlier in the stream. There's Vakshi, the bee son, captain of the bee guard. He's another fan favorite. And of course, Puro. We adore Puro in this household. And then here's the protagonist of the Hunter's Tale, Crystal. Scotty Hijack is another one who, with Dreamwalker, appears in the pilot and the grand opening. So I'm hoping to also bring them back as well. And then the Actress's Tale is about Mackenzie Barents, the titular actress. Oh, then we got Oren, and then we have a bunch of my Harpy form in various outfits. I loved the pink dress one when I was wearing that one. This one's in my original outfit. And then this one was the hoodie I was wearing for a while, especially back in October. And then here's one of my Borb form. But yeah. Let's see. I think just a couple more drops should do it. And make the coloring process a little bit easier, instead of having a whole bunch of streakiness that I have to go back and cover. One more time with gusto. Okay. I think that's about as full as it's gonna get without me overfilling it. Sheborb. Is that what you call my sticker form? Cheeborb? thinking of that song, I'm Blue, like at the looking at the pedals. You know, yeah. There is a lot of blue. There is so much blue. Dabba dee dabba die. Like, it's Puro, it's the main color of the Snapdragon Club, it's also nighttime outside, so yeah, lots of blue. We only really get a break from the blue when we jump into Bogtown, because it's a lot more gray with bits of warm color. I'd just like to take a moment to look back at Ruby Merchant. I'm so glad I get to draw him. But yeah. You love the frog effect. The frog effect. Oh my goodness. And I see that blue dot. Yeah. And of course, I was not even done with the blue. I wasn't even done. Why did I ever think I was done? I'm a fool. Though it'll probably help to add like a little bit of highlights as well as the fog effects later. Because these are supposed to be windows behind them, so that'll come later when I use the white gel pen. Okay, we're almost done. Almost done. Just a couple more places that I keep missing. Then some very light gray tones for some shading. Although darker shadows might be in order because it is nighttime. May have had too much coffee before I woke up. I'll hope you take it easy. Alright, I think it is white gel pen time, which means that we are close to finishing this page. And with these last two panels, I will be calling the stream. It's only one page, but honestly, any progress is good. And I've also been trying to kind of mentally take a break from trying to think of more stories for this, because it's been tough. But once again, I do want to finish it. I do want to get this done eventually. But until I can figure out how to get from one point to another, it's just gonna be very slow progress. So you may have noticed that previously, when I was attempting to do the fog, I was doing sort of more like curvy type lines and then spreading them out. And this time I'm doing sort of more like straight stipple lines, because I'm not sure where I saw this, but I think there are some comics that like do fog or clouds in this way, and I just wanted to see if it would look any better than what I was doing before. I think it kind of does, in my opinion at least. Coffee with electrolytes should help balance it. Also lunchtime. Yeah, you should eat. Yeah. This was nice though, thanks. Yeah, this was nice. Think the fog helps? Yeah. Adds a little bit more interest to the panels. Actually, I think I will add a little bit more fog on some of these. Because I think the other thing with the way that I was doing fog before was that I think to me they kind of looked more like steam clouds rather than fog clouds, if that makes any sense. So I think I might do this whole straight stippling effect for fog from now on. I'm also just trying to make sure that the fog doesn't cover like the most important areas, like so that way all the clear spots are like basically around like where their faces are. So that's the hope, is that it helps draw the focus in to the expressions. But yeah, I think I would call this done. Whoops. But yeah, with that being said, I think I will call the stream. And I'd like to thank everyone who joined me today, whether you are in chat or watching the VOD. It was wonderful to have you all here. And for the last time for this stream, if you enjoy my artwork and are interested in my stories of the Snapdragon Club series, then feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're feeling more generous, there are stuff over in my Ko-fi link down there. So yeah, at my Ko-fi link you could either buy me a boba, you could become a visitor of Sanctus and get a borb attributed to you with your username. That'll show up on the welcome screen at the beginning of all my streams. Or you could also buy the stickers, which I've already shown in great detail earlier. I'm just getting tongue-tied today, aren't I? But it's the end of the week, so I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and let's hope this holiday season is a good one. you guys later. Take care. Bye.